Hello, this is Fuzzy Wingman, and I am back with more Kill Team. This video got pretty delayed in recording, mostly because during the original planned recording, Winter Storm Uri hit. And I'm in Texas, so without power, obviously things went wrong. So yeah, I haven't been able to record. I actually have several things slated to record. And other things have happened since then, one of which is we now have more information about the expansion that's coming out that's actually going to change some core rules, i.e. Space Marine Firstborns are actually going to go up to 2 wounds. There are probably some other changes in there. Maybe some of the weapon profiles finally changed for the Imperium. But that hasn't come out for pre-orders yet. It's about to be, and I will definitely pre-order it, so that way, as soon as it shows up and I can play it, I'll try to get it into these videos as quickly as possible. But the biggest reason to get it as soon as possible is new rules, because I want to play with the newest rules. So, that means for this video, I'm still going to play on the generic rules. Firstborns are 1 wound and things like that, because I don't know all of the details and what rules exist or what. So that's just kind of a disclaimer, because by the time this video comes out, there's a chance the rules have already been updated. In that case, you know, I'll already know, but there's a chance I won't know, so that's kind of the playing it by ear. So that's just a heads up, but it's also excitement time. So anyway, I'm going to jump into a game of Terror Tactics, which I always show it like this, but I really should be showing it like this. Even though I just kind of quickly did it, I mean, I'm mostly doing it for myself, because we got 2 teams. If one team is unbroken at the end of a round, the game will end, but the other was they start and try to pass each other and run off the board. They get points for doing that. We got Orks and Iron Hands. Well, Iron Hands, or maybe Iron Chefs, because we got, you know, silliness. I decided to do silly Iron Chefs. And that's why they're going up against Orks, because Orks, as I've heard, I'm not as good on the lore details as potentially, but I know they're like always talked about as being a fungus. So I was like, you know what? If they're a fungus and kind of like shrooms, then, well, you know, perfect for some chefs to roast and slice. And then sprinkle some oil and a little salt and saute. Who knows? Maybe that burger that he's going is a mushroom burger because, you know, orc meat. Or is it still just meat? Who knows? Either way, jumping into the game because I don't need to remain silly. And I can just think of, I'm just going to do some quick math here for the deployment zones, because they're going to be in these corners with a rectangle. The board is 30 inches length, correct? Hard to grab a measuring tape with one hand, but hey, did it and knocked over a tree. 30 inches, so halfway is 15. And they have to be 6 inches away from the center point, so 15 minus 6 is 9, so I have 9 inches in to deploy. They also have lengthways, which is 22, which is half is 11, and they can only go 6 inches in. So that means 5 inches away from here. Boom. 5 inches away, 9 inches in. Got it. So let's see who has the greatest strategic advantage. The iron shafts, because, since they're all actually black armor, I'm using black dice. The orange bits, yeah. Screw it, the iron shafts will take here. Orcs will now get to choose their first model to deploy. Put an Ork Boy up front. Actually, no. No. Mr. Nob with the big choppa in the front. Reason being is they want the Ork Boys to go around the side. Because Ork Boys can, just run and not be useful. He's got a flamer. He'll go forward. He doesn't care if he gets charged. Oh yeah, the iron hands, iron shafts are not a real list because a Space Marines list actually can only have one special weapons. It's one special weapons, one heavy weapons. But instead, they're doing two special weapons, one flamer, one meltagun. But if you think about it, that's not a huge advantage for them. Because a heavy weapon would be, say, a rocket launcher, which is just better than the meltagun, but roughly similar stats, like longer range, and it'd still be on a heavy specialist no matter what, so no penalty for moving. Well, Melta you'd be able to advance and have no penalty, but missile launcher you can move and shoot, have longer range, still strength 8. AP is better on the Melta, but it's still damage D6. Just Melta, if you get really close, it's really great. But that's the thing. Melta, you have to get really close. With Orcs, you start getting really close, and then you start getting punched in the face. And then you have no more face. Okay, So, 5 away. Orc is going there. That gives him plenty of room to start running up here. So, of course, Space Marines will counter-deploy. Just a regular one over there because you can get around. Okay, that's about right. Okay, now it's just kind of, that's pretty much edges, so now we just kind of put models wherever. He's going to charge forward. He wants to melee some things. He's kind of ready for the counter melee. Okay, actually he will kind of go forward. He's going to try to flame some peeps. We'll put another Space Marine over here. And this guy will actually join him on running up the sides. So Space Marines will put that guy there. You know what? This guy here. And this guy here. Alright. Boom. Teams are deployed. Let's go. Round 1. Initiative. That is Orcs, right? Yep. 9 versus 7. 9 is much larger. That actually doesn't help the Orcs. Because they want to advance pretty far away. Because, Orcs, well, they're doing the Red Moons where they get, 1 to their movement and they can go. He's going to move up because he knows someone might be able to get flamed. Is that Skorcha an assault weapon? It is, so he could advance. He thinks they'll get closer. He'll kind of step over and be like this. He's going for some of that obscured bonus, especially for injury rolls. This guy will too. Because they can't charge like they want to. This guy will advance. So I get to add 1 to not only their advanced roll, but technically their stat line. So the stat line is a 6. So you add 6 of 12, and then you still add 1. That's 13. So 3. 10. And their weapons are assault weapons, and I think also with Red Moons you take no penalty to running to your assault weapons. Yep. And it's... There we go. So red goes faster, so red definitely goes faster. He will advance. Yeah, there's no need to mark him as advanced because it basically doesn't matter. He's still going to be fine. Oh, right. 2 plus... Might as well just do 3 plus 6 is 9, so... 3... Let me just keep punching that tree. It's literally... Oh, extend the measuring tape and it's just like... Pow! And punch. Alright, this guy. Advance. Since he can't really charge. So that's going to be 12. Yeah, no, it's... I don't think knobs are slower. Yeah, he's still the same movement as a regular Ork Boy, so... I'm just verifying real quick. Yep, all Orks are the same movement characteristics, so that is 12. Kind of had to go around his buddy, but he's going forward. He's ready to slice up some gits. Alright, Space Marine time. Yeah, they're not really in range. And there, he can at least flame them. So start to want to charge him. This is like a heavy flamer. And it's somewhat of a hard charge. Oh, right. Overwatch, you still have to have range. Like, he can't actually overwatch him with a flamer because he doesn't have range. Let me double check that, but I'm pretty positive it's still classified as just an extra shooting attack, so you still have to have range. Yep, still has to have range. So he's declaring a charge. Because the guy can only overwatch with his shoota, which, you know, who gives a crap? He's going to need 6s to shoot him before anyway, so it's like extra shots. Snake Eyes, he doesn't care. He's going to charge in. And he gets it. 11 inches. Put him like right here and starts getting closer to these peeps. Whoop, he can't do that. Then he starts getting within 1 inch, which he's not allowed to do. But he can at least be in there and be like, hey, do you want a burger? Oh, wait, I'm gonna make you into a burger. And now the other Space Marine's coming out. He's got his lemon grenade. The combustible lemons. Well, now this orc literally cannot run through them. So we're going to firing, starting with orcs. He's actually going to shoot this guy first because if he gets lucky, he might be able to take the guy down, and he kind of needs to do that due to the fact that, well, he's got a melta, and he could stop someone. Two shots. Not long range, but obscured, so what, 6s to hit? Yep, 6s to hit. Nope. Melta's gonna shoot him. Obviously with the bag, he's definitely obscured. 1 shot, 4 to hit. It hits. Strength 8 versus toughness. I gotta find this guy. He's in the cybork body. Still toughness 4, so it's still 2 to wound. So it wounds. AP minus 4. And goes through his armor. So now we do the... Because he's within the half range, he's going to get the doubles, whichever's... Okay, they're both 4, so he's got damage 4. Oh, before I even roll injury roll, this guy has 2 wounds. Yes, it'll go through, but he has cybork body, which means he's still got the whole every roll of 6, he ignores damage, right? Yep. Or he doesn't lose the wound. Rolls 2. Wow. So he rolls 2 6s. So he only takes 2 wounds, which is how many he has. So his final wound goes through. He's down to 0. And the damage was still 4. So we still roll 4 dice. This gets reduced to a 4 because he is within 1 inch of his terrain. But still not enough. So he's still taken out of action. And they haven't even spent the reroll, so if it wasn't success, he would just spend the reroll. Do knobs have stick bombs? Yes, they do. Before this guy even shoots, this guy's gonna throw a grenade. D6 shots. 3 shots. The guy's out in the open. So 5s to hit. 2 hits. Strength 3, so 5s to wound. 1 wound. 1 3-up save for that Space Marine. Failed it. They have not spent their command point. So they'll re-roll it. And it still failed it. But he's an Iron Hand, so he gets to roll D6 and... Yeah, it was 1 wound. I was like, wait, shit, was it 2 wounds? I was like, no, 2 hits, 1 wound. So if he rolls a 6 here, he ignores the damage. Nope, it goes through. Injury roll. Okay, now orcs are spending their command point to reroll because they really want to take this guy out of action. There they go. They threw a stick bomb and took him out of action. That was kind of lame for that Space Marine. Okay. Space Marine's going to shoot back. We'll just have this guy shoot into this orc. 2 shots, 3s to hit. 1 hit. Strength 4 for his toughness 4, so 4 to wound. Fails to wound. Orc will shoot back into this guy. 2 shots, 5s to hit. 1 hit. Strength 4. Pretty sure. Yes. So 4s to wound. Fails to wound. Now the Space Marines just start lighting up with some orcs. So this guy, 2 shots, 3s to hit. Both hit. 1 wound. 1 5-up save, I think. Well, he rolled a 6. And that was his save. He had a 6-up save, so... Woo! He just barely made a save. Lucky Orc. T-shirt prevailed. Now, what does this guy see? His head sees all. He got between his friends and it's not obscured. So 2 shots, 3's to hit. 2 hits, 4's to wound. Fail to wound. 3 Space Marines couldn't take down 1 Orc. Now, can 2 Space Marines take down 1 Orc? Can I throw a grenade? No, a grenade is 6 inches. So he can't throw a grenade. He can't throw his long grenade. So he'll just do 2 shots. 3's to hit. 1 hit. Actually wounds, though. So 6-up save for that Orc. Failed it. Injury roll. Dead. This guy's gonna fire 2 rounds into this guy because he can see through the mess to see that guy. He can actually see this guy's face through between his friends. It's just, that's such a terrible shot to be taking. He was just obscured. It wasn't even long range. So that's actually 2 hits. He managed to sneak those shots through and was awesome. A Nob is still T4, so it's still forced to wound. Actually gets a wound. I mean, Nobs have better saves. He should be able to... He rolls that too. However, Nobs have at least 2 wounds, right? Yeah, so he's got 1 wound left. Just this guy was just like, oh, the Orc in front of me's dead? Boom! Pow, pow, pow. Just a little quick burst and actually gets this guy. Which makes him angry, but there's really nothing he can do. Since he can only throw 1 grenade. And that's all he has for ranged weapons. So we move on to melee, which actually is this guy. He charged. So... chainsword plus 2 base attacks. He actually gets 3 attacks. 3's to hit. All 3 hit. Strength 4 versus toughness 4, so... 4's to wound. 2 wounds. At AP 0. So this guy should save at least 1 of these. Or he fails them both. However, it's a new phase. So he'll spend command point to reroll 1 of those. Because he saves at least 1. Which means he only loses 1 wound. Which is what he would rather have. That keeps him alive. And now he punches back. He technically has a choppa, so he gains an attack from that. So yeah, he has 4 attacks. Damn, he has 4 attacks. 3's to hit. Okay, all 4 hit. It's strength 5, so it's 3's to wound. So 3 wounds on that Space Marine. 3 up armors. Failed 1, he'll spend a command point to reroll that because he really doesn't want to have to. There we go. 3 armor saves made. So, melee complete. Morale check. Orcs have lost 2 out of 6. There's 4 on the board, so yes, 6. Space Marines have lost 1 out of more than that, so, And there's no injury rolls, there are no flesh wounds, so there's no nerve checks to do, so round 1 is done. Round 2, both teams go up to 2 command points. And we roll initiative. Oh, Space Marines have it this time. He's actually going to ready up. This guy will advance. And go 8 inches. And the other Space Marine next to him will also advance. And go 1 inch further. Let's see here. Technically, you have to be 1 inch away when you run by, so you can't really. Technically, they can't run by here. They have to like run through here and go around. So this guy will declare a charge. The Ork Boy will just overwatch because the Ork Boy wants to actually fight. Actually gets a hit. Gets a wound. 3 up armor. They keep failing these armor saves. They'll spend a command point to reroll. It's a new phase anyway. Made the armor save. I'm not even going to bother to roll the dice that's now perfectly on edge because 5 inches was all he needed to go here. This guy will advance. It's 5 so far, and then the other 5. This guy will just go over here. The reason is he realizes this guy could come in and slice him. So if he's over there, the orc can kill 2. So he doesn't really want to give them that ability. And he's staying in melee. And he has the initiative after all. So now orcs have to make some decisions. And they want to make this guy fall back. If he does, he can't shoot, and then he can be shot at. And he can't fall back far enough to make sure that this guy can't even shoot at him. Granted, it'd be an obscured long range, so it'd be 5 to hit, but he doesn't want to take the risk. He doesn't think this guy's going to do much. And also, this melt could potentially shoot at these people, too. He's actually going to declare a charge on this guy because this guy can't overwatch or fall back to the fact that he advanced. He already moved. He did all the stuffs. So Ork charging. Is that enough? Oh, you add 1. Right. It becomes a 5. That's enough. Orcs get to add. He will declare a charge on this guy. Is that actually a smart idea? Yes, it is. The guy will overwatch because he wants to shoot the guy. Actually gets a hit. Does get a wound. Orc needs his armor save made. He failed it. He spent a command point to reroll that. Pretty sure he still fails. Yeah, he does. That's his final wound. We actually go into an injury roll here. They've already spent their reroll, so he has to accept the flesh wound. But hey, he got a flesh wound onto that orc. Charge distance, 8. Or plus 1 more, so it's 9. He's in. Be able to get those guys potentially slice and dice, but they're worried that these two will still get off the field. So now we go on to shooting phase. He can't shoot anything, so he gets skipped permanently. But Space Marines have the initiative, so this guy's going to shoot his pistol into the orc, because he would rather the orc died. 3 to hit. Failed to hit. He's not going to spend a command point to reroll that. Unless, of course, the orc doesn't have a pistol either. So he doesn't have to worry about that. Now we go on to charged models, starting with Iron Chefs. He charged, so he's going to do his punching. He's just a tactical Marine. He's got 1 attack, right? Yep. No chainsword, no nothing to add to it, so 1 attack. 3 to hit. Gets a hit. 4 to wound. Fails to wound. Not going to spend a command point to reroll that. Now we go on to Orks Who Charge. We'll start with this guy. He's the Boss Nob. 3 attacks. That's all he's got. 3 attacks. With a big choppa. So 3 attacks, 3's to hit. 2 hits. Now it's getting really rainy, wet outside. Great. Hopefully it doesn't cause another winter storm and power outage. It's not cold. It's like 60 degrees out or something. Anyway, 2 attacks hit. Big choppa is going to be at strength 7, so it's only 3s to wound. But it's 2 wounds at AP -1. So 2 4-up saves for that guy. He made them both. He lives. Now this guy punching, he's the combat specialist, right? No, he is not. Right, they don't even have a zealot. He's just a veteran, so it doesn't matter. He's still got 3 attacks. 4s to hit because, yeah. It doesn't have anything to ignore flesh wounds. 4s to hit. 2 hits. Same if it was 3s to hit. Still 3s to wound because it's only strength 7. 2 wounds. 2 4-up saves for this Space Marine. Failed them both. No way he's going to be able to reroll that. It's going to be 4 damage. But he does get his feeling, the flesh is weak. Takes 3 wounds still. Which goes through all of his wounds. The damage was 2. It's just 2 wounds at 2 damage. Each is 4, but... So, yeah, injury rolls 2 dice. Okay, very, very, very dead. And he's going to consolidate towards the closest enemy model. Puts him within 1 inch of this guy, right? Oh, yeah. He's able to get to that guy. That guy's not looking all that great. But now we go to non-charged models, still starting Space Marine, so we go this guy, who's still got 3 attacks. 3s to hit. All 3 hit. 4s to wound. Okay, he'll spend a command point to reroll one of these. He's got to get at least 1 wound through. Okay. He's not using his knife skills at all. He's just... He needs to sharpen his knives like a good chef. Alright, Orks now. They'll just choose him, it's... Everything that can punch is alright punch kind of thing. So he still has 4 attacks. 4 attacks. 3s to hit. 3 hits. Strength 5, so 3s to wound. 1 wound on that Space Marine. But knowing this aren't my rolls, it's going to be a failure. See? I was right. And I don't have any rerolls, so he has to go to his feel no pain. And it's going to fail too. Drastically. And they're going to get an injury roll. It's dead, right? Yep. Very, very normal. He's not going to consolidate, because if he consolidates to this guy, yes, he can lock him in combat, but it's these 2 he's worried about. So if they get off the board, that's victory points. So if they get lucky and he gets to go first next turn, he's declaring a charge immediately. This Space Marine gets to punch now. He's going to punch this guy. No, wait. He charged. He already punched. It's this guy gets to punch because he got charged. And he survived. So he punches back. Hits. Wounds. And the Ork fails its save. Ork doesn't care. Not going to spend a command point to reroll. There we go. This Ork punching. An Ork Boy is 2 attacks. 3s to hit. 1 hit. Needed 4 to wound, so failed to wound. That's melee. So now we go into morale phase. Orcs are at exactly half, but again, the rules state more than half. Space Marines are not at half yet, since it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they have 8 models, so they need 5 dead or injured to be a roll. So the only thing is this guy who takes... So with the nerve check, it says on a veteran, they take no penalty to the nerve check. Does that mean, technically, they don't take the penalty of lost models? Which means I'm just rolling against his leadership? That's what I suspect is the case, the way it's worded, which also means, he passes. Also, there was an orc next to him. He would have had to roll a 6 to fail. So it's yeah. Oh, he rolled a 1 anyway. So it would only be a 6. Would I actually have to be what are the rules for that? They just need to kill him to make it no longer questionable. Round 3. Orcs go up to 3 command points because they have their leader. Iron Chefs only go up 1 command point. Their leader is dead. Got punched because he couldn't punch back. So that's 9. Yep. Orcs now have the initiative. I think Orcs are going to do just fine. Remain. He's going to declare charge on these guys. He's going to do the... He's declaring charge on both of them. If he falls back, he can't do anything else. Do I resolve each person being declared a charge 1 at a time? Because if so... So it's not exactly clear. Technically they both have to, I have to determine at the same time what their reactions are. Or if I can resolve, say, his Overwatch, if the Overwatch actually kills this guy, then he won't, react. I'm not sure. So I'm going to play it that way, where I choose 1 model at a time, because I still have to resolve the attacks 1 model at a time. So he will first Overwatch. Gets nothing. So does this guy want to Overwatch or fall back? Or retreat? Because I have to go away from the model to retreat, which is actually in the direction he wants to go. But if he goes, say, 3 inches, gets there, the problem is if this guy kills this guy, he just consolidates right to him. And if they both survive, next turn he just falls back the 6 inches and goes further. He's just going to Overwatch. He's hoping to get the shot in. He gets the shot in. He gets the wound in. The Orc gets his save in, though. So now the Orc charges. 7, he's good. Well, 8, so yeah, he's in. So now Space Marine's turn. He's going to advance. He's not going to re-roll that because I was like, do I want to re-roll to get better? It's no, I only have 1 command point. Save it for later. So he goes. And now the reason they actually are also kind of happy they went first. Fall back. And fall back. They're getting close to getting away. Which now puts Orcs shooting. This Ork Boy is going to shoot into him. Try to stop him from leaving. 2 shots, 5s to hit. Nothing. Alright, this guy's going to fire his meltagun at him. It's just long range for that one, so he's going to do that instead of the long range and obscured on the other targets. So he's the one that's long range. It hits. 2 to wound. It wounds. AP4 -4 goes through. Damage D6. 3 damage. Dead. Yeah, the guy was out in the open, so it was just like, there we go. So he killed a guy. I mean, he probably could have killed this guy. With the rolls he did, he would have killed that guy, but he didn't want to risk it. And now the orcs... Oh, he could throw a stick bomb, so he will. D6 shots. 2 shots. Goes at that guy. 5s to hit. 1 hit. 5 to wound. Doesn't wound. So orcs have fired. Space Marines have fired. We just go into this melee. Starting with the guy who charged, who has 4 attacks. So we'll put 2 on this guy, 2 on that guy. So the 2 on the guy with the lemon grenade. 2 hits. Since there's 3s to hit. 3s to wound. 2 wounds. 2 3-up saves. Made them both. 2 attacks on the other Space Marine. 3s to hit. 2 hits. 3s to wound. 2 wounds. 2 armor saves for the other guy. Failed 1. We'll spend their final command point to reroll this because there they go. He actually survived it. And also that means they're not going to take a break test because no one was injured in this round. So if they manage to injure this guy, they actually can make a break test on the orcs and potentially win. So I'm just going to roll both Space Marines at the same time because they both have 1 attack. So that means if I have to go to an injury roll, it's 2 injury rolls. So 2 attack, so 1 attack each, 3s to hit. One of them hits. One of them wounds. We'll never know which one. And now injury roll, or armor save, is made. So armor saved made. No morale checks to do, no break tests. So it goes on to turn 4. Orcs are now at 5 command points. Iron Chefs are at 1. This initiative roll can determine who wins. 9. Okay, maybe not this roll. The next roll. 11. 9. Iron Hands have it. That helps them drastically. This guy falls back and leaves this guy in. This guy advances. Gets to go nice 11, which takes him wholly off the board. He is broken through, which I think is like 2 victory points, so that's good. This guy advances. Will that be enough to take him off the board? Not his whole base, so they'll spend a command point to re-roll that advance roll because they really just need like a 2 or higher. Okay, that's 10. He's very off the board. He's broken through. This guy will run. Advance. 10 inches. Is it enough? No, he's right there. He is right there, but if the game continues, he can get off next turn. The orcs have to kill him to stop him. As I said, that initiative could determine who won because Space Marines are just gone. They already have 2 people off the board, and the orcs are like, can we get someone off in time? Not this turn. So orcs are actually going to advance this guy. Spend a command point to reroll that because that's really low. There they go. He gets to go 13 in total because of his rules. So he's there. You know, next turn he's off the board. He's declaring a charge on this guy. You can't see him, so you can't... Well, he also advanced, so he can't react. Well, they'll use... Here we go. About there from head to things. It doesn't fully matter because either way, either he catches up to him next round or he gets off the board. They're just chasing him down. This guy, he's gonna stay in because he knows if he falls back, this guy just lights him up and it doesn't help. I mean, he does better in melee than this guy, so he's happy with that. So we go on to shooting phase. I mean, I don't even think this guy could shoot anything. Yeah, he's too far away. This guy actually has a pistol. You know, tactical Marines always have a bolt pistol. So he's firing his pistol into him. 3 to hit. Hits. 4 to wound. Rolled a 2, so nope. And they've already spent their command point to get someone off the field. So nothing. So we go into melee. Starting the Space Marine. So we got this guy. He punches. Doesn't hit. And this guy's got 4 attacks still. So all of them going on that guy. 3's to hit. Oh. They'll spend a command point to reroll one of those. Because they really want... There we go. 2 hits. 4's to wound. 2 wounds. That's what they wanted. 2 3-up saves for him. See, he failed at least one of them. But he still has a 6-up. Flesh is weak. And he's too fleshy. So we go into... They don't even get a flesh wound. He's just dead. 3-inch consolidation. He's going for that guy. He's like, I'm coming. I'm coming. It's like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. End of game, or end of turn. No morale checks to do, or break tests to do, because everyone's at exactly half. So, right, we just see if the game ends. It doesn't. Space Marines are... Oh, yeah. So... There. Iron Chefs are at 1 command point. Orcs are still at 5. Go back up to 5 command points because they still have their commander. Who has the initiative? Because Iron Chefs have it. That's really good for them. Orcs get it this time. 7 and 4. So... Orcs can do some denying. First step. Off the board. Next one. He's declaring a charge on this guy. Oh. He retreats. And now his target is off the field, so he can't even advance to go after him, so... Oops. There was nothing he could do. The guy retreats, and his movement takes him fully off the board. I'm going to verify that it's how the breakthrough gets... How that works? Okay. It specifically says any player can move their models off the battlefield edge directly opposite their own deployment zone in the movement phase if that model's move is sufficient to take it wholly over that battlefield edge. Well, it's the movement phase. His movement would take him wholly off of the battlefield edge. He does it. It does not state that it has to be like a normal move or a run. It's any movement. A retreat puts him off the edge, and a retreat has to be away from the enemy model, not, like towards your own edge. It has to be just away from the enemy model. Away from the enemy model is still off the edge, so that was a valid move. He's declaring a charge. This guy's retreat won't take him off the edge. So he's actually going to Overwatch, because if he successfully kills the guy in Overwatch, he could then advance. He didn't get the guy in Overwatch, and he's not going to reroll that. Also, he should have used his own dice, because, you know, the black. I like how I just rolled that to see if he would have done better. He wouldn't have. This orc is going to do the smart move and get behind him, because he has so much movement, he's going to go and get behind him. So that way, if this guy falls back, he has harder time getting around. So he's in. We just go on to melee, which starting with this guy, because he charged. 4 attacks. 3s to hit. 3 hits. 3s to wound. 2 wounds. 2 3-up saves for the Space Marine. Makes them both. Space Marine punches back. Hits. Fails to wound. He'll spend a command point to re-roll that because he might as well. Gets the wound. Can the orc save it? Yes. So they're locked in melee. Still no one has to do a break test. No one has any nerf checks. So now we roll to see if the game ends. This time it does. That's really good for the Iron Chefs, because if the game continued and this guy managed to kill this guy, they would actually have risked a break test. And let's see here. 9. They could have failed the break test. Even though they had no models on the field, they would still have to do a break test, because it doesn't say the game would end once, you know, everything's off the field. And then it specifically says whoever breaks loses. So even though they got more models off than the orcs, they could have lost that way. However, game ended now. So Iron Chefs appreciate that. There's no unbroken team, so we do by points. Okay. Each player scores 2 victory points for their models that have broken through. So 2, 4, 6 points so far. Orcs got that, so that's 2 points so far. Because they get 1 victory point for each enemy model that is taken out of action. Well, they killed 3 orcs, so they get 9 points. And they killed 4 Space Marines, so they get 6 victory points. So Iron Chefs win, because they got people off the board on that 4th round. Yeah, that was close. Iron Chefs actually could have potentially lost if this guy got killed. So it ended up being pretty close, and they definitely didn't want the game to continue. So that was a fun game. Chefs did some roasting. They made some nice good mushroom. They're gonna have some nice good mushroom stew tonight. Anyway, have a fabulous day, everybody.